All right, this Saturday, the first annual Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl at SoFi Stadium between Oregon State, Utah State. And right now, we got a former Beavers wide receiver joining us. You can hear him every week with Martin Weiss, hosting the Lemon Pepper Parlay podcast, where he's taught us valuable lessons such as it's always better with the cheddar. It really is, if you think about it. Our good friend, TJ Houshmandzadeh is here. What's happening, TJ?
What's going on, fellas? Extra Points Podcast, man. I'm glad to be here, baby. We about to beat the shit out of Utah State.
Oh, all right. Well, I was going to ask, we're gambling men here. I don't know how much you followed Oregon State, probably not Utah State as much. You think this team has it in them to cover the 7?
Covering Utah State surprised me in the conference championship game. I'm not going to lie. That was a shocker. But Oregon State has played good competition. We lost some close games that we should have won. Do I follow them? I do, but I'm not really following them the way that I should. The coach was my quarterback, so we communicate often. I've sent quite a few kids up there to go to school, but we beating the shit out of Utah State. That's for certain.
Wow. And you're going to be there to see it. We're all getting together, right?
Yeah. Thanks to you and Mr. Big Man Jimmy Kimmel, man. We in the house, baby.
This is going to be a lot of fun. A lot of points.
The shirt that Martin has on, he's going to wear that on Saturday.
No, I was just going to ask you about that. When you get drafted out of Oregon State to Cincinnati, how quickly does it occur to you? Like, I don't even have to change any of my clothes, black and orange to black and orange.
It was quite ironic. It really was. If you think about it, the year before they draft me and Chad, they draft Ron Dugans and Peter Warrick, both from Florida State, both receivers, both the same year, different colors. But yeah, it was really crazy. Like, I would have worn an Oregon State hoodie right now, but all my Oregon State, they don't send me anything, and all my stuff is big. And as I've gotten older, I've kind of gotten away from all the big clothes, and I'm going to the form-fitting clothes. So, it would have been just too big for me.
There's just a couple things that you all need to know about TJ. First, he hates officials. Referees, no time for him. Secondly, if you're not sending him stuff, he's going to talk about how you're not sending him stuff. You need to send TJ stuff. You want him to be happy.
I'll wear it.
Why won't Oregon State send you stuff? This is very strange to me.
I don't know, man. I have no idea. Normally, man, if you're an alumni, you get things sent to you. They don't send me much, and it's okay. It's not a big deal. I just wear what I purchase.
TJ, let me ask you real quick. How hard is it for players to get up for these bowl games, which are sometimes 3 and 4 weeks after the last game you played? Now, I think you played in the Fiesta Bowl. That was a big one. I'm sure you got up for Notre Dame, but the score indicates that you did. What'd you win, like 41-9? You had a touchdown. Chad Johnson had a couple of touchdowns. Eddie Spaghetti doesn't want to hear about this. He's a big Notre Dame fan.
He left, but Chad Johnson left one of those touchdowns at the 1 yard line, right?
Hey, in today's game, review, no touchdown.
Yeah. Is that right? Yeah. Well,
yeah, he did the thing where he dropped the ball as he's crossing the goal line, but it was a yard short.
I mean, it hardly mattered because it was 41-9, but that pro college doesn't matter. That has to be a top 3 highlight, right? That game?
Yeah, that game was fun. It was fun, Sal, because I remember this vividly, man. We had our banquet, and when we had the banquet, it was supposed to be we were supposed to intermingle. And so a mixture of Notre Dame players and Oregon State players at the table, their coaches, and we get there and our coaches, they don't want to intermingle with us. So we're going to be on this side, we're going to be on this side. And then it was 6 players from each team got introduced. I was one of them, by the way. And the last guy for our team that got introduced, his name was DeLawrence Grant, and he was a defensive end from Compton, California. So he gets up, he's like, I'm DeLawrence Grant, defensive end, Compton, California. The guy from Notre Dame gets up after we're done. He was like, I'm not from Compton, but I'm from so-and-so. Really putting it down. So when that happened, we literally were ready to fight him in the banquet. So It was really fun that we beat the shit out of them because they act like they were so much better than us. At least that's what our coaches had us believing. They were too good to be playing us in the Fiesta Bowl. So we really did want to beat the hell out of them.
That's great. And I don't know what the spread was, but the spread must have been 40 points.
We're probably the underdog.
Yeah.
We're probably the underdog.
Yeah.
But the guys going into this bowl game, you're excited. A lot of the guys from Oregon State are from California. And so their families will be able to watch them just to be able to play on the national scene at this stadium. Oh, they really, really looking forward to this. Yesterday wasn't so good. Tuesday, the rain out here, but they got clear skies and palm trees today. So they're looking forward to practice today. But nah, you're excited about playing in any bowl game, and I'm sure the gifts they're getting are fantastic. So they love it.
I know Dave's excited to ask you about the fruit in the background. I know.
Well, I do want to ask you about that, but I do have a semi-serious football question for you. Chad Johnson, you played with. You were a high-end 21st century receiver. Steve Smith. This year, once again, obsession about Odell Beckham and where he should be and where he shouldn't be. And, this receiving core and that. Why is it, do you suppose? What's your serious thought on this? For all our fixation, because it's fun to have great wide receivers, number one wide receivers and all that, how come the teams that win the Super Bowl very rarely have those dominant wide receivers? Why does it feel to me like, the numbers kind of bear it out. Tyreek Hill is probably the best receiver to win a Super Bowl this millennium. How come the teams that end up winning the Super Bowl don't necessarily have that dominant, he's the best in the business? That guy never wins the Super Bowl.
He doesn't look like he agrees with you.
I think TJ disagrees with the premise of this setup right here.
Okay,
Yeah,
the facts bear it out.
I really do, because who's the reigning Super Bowl champs?
Okay, Mike Evans is really good. So maybe Mike Evans. But also Randy Moss never won a Super Bowl. Antonio Brown got one as a third. Calvin Johnson never got close. Julio Jones has never won one. Nuke Hopkins has never won one. These are the best receivers of the millennium.
Because they're drafted high, and when you're drafted high, you go on shitty teams. Like Mike Evans can play. He's a top 8 receiver. Chris Godwin is probably a top 12 receiver. And so to me, I look at when Devontae Adams got hurt this year, and he didn't play. Well, you know what the Green Bay did? They turned into Nebraska with Tom Osborne. They just start running the ball.
Yeah.
Receivers are to me, in today's game, are just as important as quarterbacks. If you don't have one, you're not going to be successful. Look around. Ask Trevor Lawrence if he had Devontae Adams, how better would his rookie season be going? Go ask him. Ask Zach Wilson if he had a Devontae Adams or DeAndre Hopkins, how better would his season be going? And so the way the rules are set up, when you have a guy, ask Josh Allen what has Stephon Diggs done for his career once he got traded to Buffalo. And so winning a Super Bowl, football is the ultimate team game. We all praise the quarterbacks. Oh man, you can't win without one.
You can't.
You can't win without a good offensive line either, because you look at the Steelers. You're a Steeler fan. Trust me, if they could block, if they had David DeCastro and Pouncey and Alan Faneca, they would be saying Big Ben could play football this year. But because his offensive line sucks, they're saying he's washed. It's because of the guys up front can't block for him, that Ben doesn't have the time that he's accustomed to. It's the ultimate team game, but to me, it's quarterback, receivers, offensive line, in that order.
You don't have to look any further than last year's Super Bowl with the Chiefs and their offensive line, and how Mahomes was parallel to the ground, throwing on every other attempt. So yeah, of course, offensive line is huge. Do you want to apologize, Shaq?
I don't, because I think Hoosh made a capable argument there, but it doesn't disprove the results of the first 20 years of this century.
But he gave you a reason, because they're drafted on crap teams. That's why.
Think about that. The top receivers that you named: Calvin Johnson, drafted high, Detroit. Julio Jones. And let's just be honest.
He should have won.
He should have won a Super Bowl. If all you had to do was hand the ball off, you win a Super Bowl.
Certainly wasn't his fault. He made the catch of a lifetime.
But am I right, though, Hoosh? By the way, I do have to say two things I congratulate you on. One, I'm embarrassed to say that your Bengals have beaten the Steelers 3 straight times, and the last 2 were just abject humiliations. But 2, regarding the Steelers, you're the first person I heard really hammer this point. You're absolutely right. The Steelers got sideways with their drafting and free agent philosophy. They started getting distracted by shiny objects on the outside and ignoring what their identity was for a long time, which was bullying teams at the line of scrimmage on both sides. So kudos to you on that. But I still would go QB1, offensive line probably 2, a dominant edge rusher 3, and then a shutdown corner 4 before I even talk about needing a number 1 clear-cut dominant wide receiver.
An obese punter 4, I would say. No.
Hey, Dave.
We got that.
Hey, Dave, if you were a GM, man, you'd be out of a job so fast.
Oh, laugh it up. That's just a mean-spirited dig that has no merit whatsoever. Now explain those pineapples behind you. Is that your fruit of the year?
On? Those look good.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut these up, man. I'm pretty much a servant to my family, pretty much, but they love pineapples. And I bought those 2 days ago, and I left them there on purpose to see if somebody else would cut them. And I realized they will not be cut until I cut them. So I'll be cutting those soon after we're done. As soon as we're done, I'm going to cut those.
Oh, man. I don't want to hold sit there, that.
Get mushy and brown, and I'll just throw them in the trash. But I will say this. I pretty much eat every type of fruit that there is all day, every day. That's pretty much all I eat is fruit in one big meal a day.
Really?
Fruit.
TJ,
I might do that. I may have to do that. That's smart. No one ever got fat eating fruit, right? That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
I got to
TJ, so in 2021, the year's ending. It's wrapping shortly. Only 2 more weeks left. What's your favorite fruit of the year? I know this is damn. I think we should, soliciting. Are you soliciting nominations, Damashek?
I'm a man of the people. I'm open to suggestion, of course. If Hoosh has one that he feels strongly about, I'm all ears.
I pretty much eat. It's not a fruit that I don't like, but what I will say is Honeycrisp apples. I love those.
Oh, here we go.
So I love.
I got 4 in the fridge right now.
Me as well. I get them. I go there.
We agree about almost everything. It's crazy with no prior talking about it.
Well, listen. Let me just plant the seed with you, an apple seed or otherwise. The Honeycrisp is delicious. It was a revelation to my taste buds half a decade or so ago. Do yourself a favor, Houshmandzadeh. Try the Envy apple. Get back to me.
I have.
And that's the best. That's the best.
Envy apple is really good. The reason I like the Honeycrisp a little more is it has a tartness to it sometimes. The Honeycrisp, the Envy is just always sweet. There's another apple that I can't think of the name of it. It is like
Gala? Pink Lady?
It's a
pineapple.
It's a new one.
Cosmic Crisp is delicious.
Hey,
oh my God.
The Cosmic Crisp apple might be competing with the honey. Yes, the Cosmic. Yes, that apple.
I don't like when you guys agree. I liked it better a few minutes ago when you said Sheck would make a shitty GM. That's better for me.
You got to think about just look at the teams that are at the top of the standings minus New England. What do they all have?
Honeycrisp apples.
A dominant receiver.
But Hoosh, okay, yeah, you have a couple. You have 3 great receivers. If it were a video game, and I know this sound presents as me being dismissive of your Bengals, but from a video game standpoint, man, Cincy is loaded up with skill position guys offensively, and Burrow is the best quarterback in the division in 2021, although people are ignoring a little bit too much how great Roethlisberger's been this last month.
No, they're not.
Wow. Yes, they are. People are legitimately ignoring how as this guy comes out. We have to sing songs about Derek Jeter for a year, and Coach K gets a farewell tour, and people can't honor Roethlisberger playing dynamite ball, being let down by the line of scrimmage on both sides. But anyhow,
I got the Bengals.
I got the Bengals because I think in a QB league, Burrow's playing the best ball. And I think they're going to win the division. But they have to, I kind of feel like they need to go into Denver and take care of business there to prove what I'm talking about. Who do you have emerging in these last 4 games to take the division and try to not be too orange and honestly, black striped with it?
Had Cleveland not had this COVID outbreak, I probably would go with the Browns, even though they're not playing well. Their defense is so dominant that they keep them in the games. The Bengals are playing good football, but they're just giving games up that they should win.
Too many big plays.
Game was a perfect example of that. They should have won that game. And even though the Chargers game, the score looks like they didn't have a chance, they're down 9-0. Jamar Chase drops a touchdown that gets intercepted. That would make it 9-7. They're down 26-22. and mixing fumbles, they pick it up and return it for a touchdown. They should have won both of these last two games.
Lots of big plays. They give up too many big plays. It's a weird thing with them, right? You
They
don't even know
have
what you're
to
watching.
play a complete game, and that's what they're not doing. They get behind and they fight back and they lose. But I do agree. They are, to me, the most complete team in a division, but they have to understand, and there's steps that young teams take. You got to crawl before you walk, and they're going through the crawling stage of the failure part of it. And once they get over that hump, because this is not an easy game. Vic Fangio is a great defensive coordinator. They're going to Denver. It's thin air, but they have the better team. They need to win this game because Cleveland, they're in a world of trouble. Baltimore's in a world of trouble. Once Pittsburgh beat Baltimore and then Pittsburgh gets crushed by everybody, I'm like, oh, Baltimore can't be very good. Me and Martin were talking about that. So the Bengals, to me, are the best team in the division. They better win the division. They should win the division.
Let me just give you a recommendation. Next time someone asks you this question, pick a winner for the AFC North, just ignore them. Say you don't have an answer and it doesn't matter because I pointed out this is not going to be decided before week 18 when Baltimore plays Pittsburgh and Cleveland plays the Bengals. It's definitely coming down to that. So if you have to give someone like Damashek an answer, fine, so be it. But that's the true feeling, right?
Hey, with this COVID outbreak, man, it's going to be very interesting. I don't play fantasy football. A lot of my buddies, they play Man, this COVID is costing me the playoffs.
It's a disaster.
Football. They're all complaining about that. But yeah, I'm rolling with the Bengals. I believe they might not have the best team, but at least they play together. There's no mutiny in the locker room. And so they seem to get along and they just got to put it together. Young team.
Do you have any, put you on the spot. You have any insight on what Baker's talking about, that there's discord in the Browns locker room before all this COVID stuff covers up all that story? That would have been a story though, that Baker kind of hinted at, like, well, there's stuff going on behind the scenes. Nobody knows.
It doesn't help that his wife's calling out the players on the team every other week.
And that's not his wife. That's Baker.
That's
Baker's going home. He's pillow talking with his wife. I'm hurt. Then you got so-and-so that's hurt, but he's not playing, but I'm playing through my injury. And so she just
but he can't like that. That can't, he has to know that's not going to benefit him, that stuff getting out, whether it's from him or her, right?
She didn't I guarantee he knew she was tweeting that.
Wow.
I guarantee she's not going to do that without saying, hey, baby, do you care if I do this?
I know, it's so stupid.
She's not going to do that without his consent. And so that's the problem is quarterback's the only position. I've never seen this before. Oh, are we going to pay Baker? Baker's not good enough to get paid. You give any other position. Oh, are you going to pay so-and-so as a starting left tackle and he's given up 8 sacks and has 9 penalties? You're like, hell no, we're not paying him. But Baker Mayfield, are they going to pay him? It should be absolutely not.
He's making it easy for the Browns, I think. They may still do something stupid, but I think it's making it easy for the Browns to not pay him.
I mean, they could win with Baker because they're dominant at so many offensive line. Sure. Fantastic. Running back, fantastic. They're going to have to go get receivers, but that entire defense, fantastic. And so they're good everywhere. They're just lacking at the quarterback. Because I was one that thought, oh, Baker can get it done. I don't believe he can anymore because you've had every opportunity to show it, and you just can't do it. They're winning in spite of you.
Right. You can't put 2 good games together. TJ, I mean, you're the best. You really are. Now I know we have to order extra pineapple for the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl suite.
Just in all Saturday. Fruit, baby.
Yeah. Just all apple varietals for everybody. We're going
to be in there deep then on Saturday, baby.
All right. Well, we're going to have a lot of fruit because we're going to have a lot of money betting Oregon State -7. Huh? You say it's a thrashing. It's going to be like a Fiesta Bowl 2002 type thrashing, you're saying.
We about to run the ball down their throats. We going to beat Utah State. Matter of fact, I'm going to call Donald Penn. I got to make a bet on this game. I'm making a bet on this game.
I love it.
I'll throw this, TJ. If they don't cover, I'm throwing whatever fruit in this suite at you.
Hey, Martin,
so you better catch it.
Hey, Martin, I'm about to make a bet with Donald Penn, so I'm throwing that shit with you.
Thanks so much, TJ. We will see you in a few days. TJ Houshmandzadeh, Lemon Pepper Parlay. Check him out. So smart.